Welcome to episode number 294 of the Beyond Social Media Show, the podcast for all of you marketing, advertising, public relations, and communications professionals. You can find us by searching for Beyond Social Media Show. We are recording on January 31, 2020. A ton of things to talk about this week, including Crowdsourced Super Bowl ads, Pantone's color commentary, Checkers Redux, 2020 emojis, free eat, free art, marketing English, scroll, Facebook stalking, racist face recognition, illegal social media, hypersensitive Super Bowl ads, Bloomberg goes to the dogs. I think I already covered that one, the early one. But anyway, BL kicks it off with the best story of the week, as she always does. BL, what do you got?
I got to say that Redux is one of my favorite words. Kraft is crowdsourcing their Super Bowl ad. And so consumers are going to be part of their ad, and they're not going to finish the ad until right before the game. So what they're doing is they're tying together family Super Bowl moments harvested from social media, and it's going to be a 30-second spot in the third quarter. They've been promoting family greatly since mid-December, with real families discussing the premise that being great is better than chasing perfection. Now they're asking for photos and videos that they can splice together in time for the Super Bowl ad. And it's the first for the Kraft brand. And so to qualify to be in it, you have to post your images or videos to Instagram or Twitter between 6 a.m. and 8:30 p.m. Eastern time on February 4th. You have to use the hashtags Family Greatly and Kraft Entry. But there's already a ton of images and videos with those tags online. And so people who are going to possibly make it into the spot are going to know soon before it airs, because they have to reach out to the people asking permission to use their images and videos. I don't quite understand why you don't give that permission by entering, but there's some legal stuff there. So there's a teaser running online, and it's also going to be on TV through Saturday. And then on Sunday, there's a more intense call to action, and that's going to come also just before kickoff. So they plan to post the TV spot online after the Super Bowl airing, and they might use the pictures and the videos in other ways, because by doing this, they don't get the opportunity for earned media by leaking their commercials or teasing their commercials like other brands have done. So it's just really interesting. But the ad itself, the $56 million ad, it's only going to be on TV once.
Of course, there's only so many spots in the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
They got to get people to rewatch it or find it later after the game. So my story. My Super Bowl story is one of hijacking the Super Bowl. So this is not a Super Bowl spot ad so much as it is taking advantage of the hype around the Super Bowl. It's from Adweek's Ian Zelaya, who reports that Pantone, the color standards company, is going to be launching a social media campaign to provide insights and commentary during the game between the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers. They're going to be providing color commentary, of course.
What does that mean?
Color commentary? Okay, so if you don't watch football, there are two announcers during any given football game. One announcer is the play-by-play announcer who describes the play as it happens, and then there's the color commentator who provides color, quote unquote, commentary. So he provides insight into the game rather than describing the play as it's happening. He describes some insight into why that play worked or didn't work or whatever, and that's the color that he's providing. So Pantone, being the color company, the company that standardizes colors, is going to be providing quote unquote color commentary on social media during the game. This is the first Super Bowl in the game's 54-year history in which both teams are wearing red as their primary color.
That's confusing.
Well, not exactly, because they have clearly defined jerseys, but they're very close shades of red. So Pantone 186C is the Chiefs color, and Pantone 187C is the 49ers color. So Pantone is using the hashtag, this is kind of unwieldy, big game color commentary. That's the hashtag. So if you want to follow it, you're going to have to like copy and paste it into Twitter to follow it. But they plan to relate their color system codes and general color knowledge to everything from the play-by-play to Super Bowl facts to game day foods and, of course, the Super Bowl ads. I would think it would be more entertaining than simply citing Pantone color numbers throughout the game. So we will see how it plays out. I hope it's more than that. But I thought it was a clever, at least the headline, Pantone provides color commentary, is clever. So we'll see how they execute. But nice idea.
It's an interesting idea, but it's a little thin.
We'll see. Maybe they'll be really funny. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? So, talking about being really funny, earlier this week, Tuesday, people were going absolutely nuts because Mike Goldberg played with a dog. He was at some campaign. Bloomberg. Yeah. What did I say?
Goldberg.
Oh. Yes,
probably has a lot of that too. But
Okay, well, Mike Bloomberg played with this dog by shaking its snout, and the dog loved it because the dog was wagging his tail the whole time. But people wondered, is that cruel? And the haters hated, and everybody went nuts. And so Wednesday morning, this happened on Tuesday evening. Wednesday morning, Bloomberg responds with this ad and a tweet that says, "Dog people get me. And so do dogs." And one of the dogs in the video says, "I'm Mike Bloomberg's dog, and I approve this message." It's just, and there's all these different dogs with different voices, and they're all talking about, and the voices really fit like the appearance of the dog. It's really very funny. And it was like, I don't know, 30 seconds, but they did it overnight, and it's hilarious. And of course, there were people who hated it, but I loved it.
Very nice. That's hilarious.
I'm Mike Bloomberg's dog, and then at the end he says, "And so did I."
That's a clever response too to the commentary or to the outrage or whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, and I mean, he made the point that he has a dog. Like somebody said, "Is this the first dog Bloomberg ever met?"
So in politics, there's the Checkers speech by Richard Nixon, right, where he accepted a dog from a contributor, and there's a big outrage over that, and he gave a speech, the Checkers speech, in which he defended he's going to keep Checkers. And then there's the LBJ photo,
picking up the dog by the ears.
That's an outrage right there, right?
Yeah. He didn't do anything like that.
So my next one is nothing to do with dogs. I don't think there's any dogs in this at all, come to think of it. But this is Emojipedia reports, and many people have, on the list of new emojis for 2020 that have been finalized. And maybe I asked this last year when we covered the new emojis. I can't remember, but what is the plural of emoji? Is it emoji?
I think it is. I think something that ends in an I, that would be the plural.
Yeah, I don't think you should
So
say
what
emojis.
is one emoji?
One emoji is an emoji, and more than one emoji is an emoji. Is emoji, right?
Well, I don't know. We'll have to ask David Berkowitz.
Foreshadowing. Let's stick with emoji because I like that idea anyway. There's 117 emoji in all. Notable among them there's two blue people hugging, which should replace the thoughts and prayers hashtag, right? There's pinched fingers, and in the write-up for this, they're calling the Italian hand gesture.
Yeah.
I'm calling it the show me the money, right? So, that's what I'll be using it for anyway. There's a smiling face with a tear, which something is touching, There's a disguise face, think Groucho Marx. There's a ninja emoji. There are various people feeding a baby. So there's a feeding a baby emoji. There's an emphasis on gender inclusion this year. There's a gender-neutral Santa Claus. There's women there's a woman in tuxedo and man of veil. There's transgender symbol and flag. Animals include a black cat, a woolly mammoth, my favorite, and a dodo bird. Potential insult emoji include a cockroach and a worm, so I can see trolls using those. And then just in time for the 2020 election, there's the Russian nesting dolls. For most users, the new emoji will come to devices throughout 2020. In past years, Apple has waited until the second half of the year to introduce the new emojis. They often do it on World Emoji Day in July. And I'm just wondering, BL, my favorite, the emoji that hasn't been included yet that I want included is a bandit emoji. You know, with the eye. What are they called?
Mask.
The mask over the eyes. I want a bandit emoji. Which one? What kind of emoji would you have if you could tell them to make one?
If I could tell them to make an emoji?
What emoji do you want that doesn't exist? When you're
Well,
looking for
different
emojis,
ones for smiling than the ones they have. I mean, you know, but I don't know. I mean, I like I don't need another emoji, to be honest with you. I really don't. but I think that this one, I think that is really clear. A lot of people talk with their hands. I'm one of them, and that is definitely something that people who talk with their hands do. So I like that one. I think that's a cool one. But
it's cupping of the hands. It's your
they're
hand
showing it this way.
Yeah, I thought it was like upside down. Anyway,
yeah,
I like it. Go ahead.
Okay. But I mean, I want one like this because that's how we talk, you know, like that. Yep. But anyway, one thing that is also new is 100,000 works of art free to download. In France, there's a collective of 14 museums, and they are placing 100,000 pieces of art on their online portal. They're free to download, and you can use them as you please. The source is My Modern Met, which is a wonderful site, and the reporter is Jessica Stewart, and it's Paris Musées. And they run 14 museums in Paris, and so they use the best technology to digitize the work. So it's really high quality. It's 300 DPI digitization, and it includes basic information about the pieces and instructions on how the public domain license works, and 350,000 of the 1 million pieces held at the museums are in the collection. And there's a filtering system and search-only royalty-free and you can browse by artist, date, material, location, as well as by color, Dave. And so you register and you can annotate your searches. You can start your own collections of favorites. And they started with some thematic collections, Victor Hugo caricatures, women's fashion and sport, artist studios, and Paris during the Revolution were a few of them. But there's wonderful work in there, and it's free, and you can do whatever you want with it.
Awesome. Mashup time galore.
Yeah.
So the Victor Hugo caricatures, are they caricatures of Victor Hugo? Are they caricatures that Victor Hugo created?
You know, I didn't look at that one, so I don't know.
I definitely want to find out.
Yeah, well, click on the story.
Victor Hugo fan.
He wrote Le Crapaud. Yes. And Notre Dame.
Les Miserables.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't have any more good news, do you?
I do indeed. This is from one of your friends here, serial marketer David Berkowitz.
Berky.
Is writing Berky's Marketing English, a quaint compendium for modern marketers. And what he's trying to do with this is offer meaning to marketing jargon. Here's an example. I'm going to read it, and you will put a link in the show notes so people can see all the rest because they're fantastic. So everybody in marketing knows what an impression is, right? Apparently not. This is his description of what an impression is. A metric that never actually determines if a unit of advertising made an impression on someone. The Oxford Dictionary, cited by Google, refers to the broader non-industry specific meaning of impression as an idea, feeling, or opinion about something or someone. And advertisers would be thrilled if those were actual human responses to the industry-specific impressions that they generate. Oxford continues to note that broadly defined impressions are formed on the basis of little evidence, and there is indeed little evidence that advertising impressions generate any impression on any impressionable human. Most tallies of impressions should be assumed to be touched up by impressionism, or at least the kind of artistry known as bullshit. A class of such artistry is hardly needed given how many experts our industry already has in that field. Also note that Pablo Picasso was not an impressionist, but in preparing to depict one of the figures in Guernica and his later lithograph series, The Bull, he may have at one point been a literal bullshit artist.
David's very clever. He really is. That's great.
Put a link in the show notes so you can read the rest of these wonderful descriptions.
There's a book in the works here.
Yeah. My other one is Scroll. This is from a Neiman Lab article by Sarah Searcy, I think is how you pronounce it. And Scroll is a new app that promises ad-free reading experience on more than 300 news sites for only $5 a month. And so the hook of this is a portion of the money that you pay for a subscription goes to the sites that you read the most. It's founded by former Chartbeat, Spotify and Foursquare executives. Chartbeat is a great analytics company that is one of the forerunners or innovators in developing metrics for content consumption. So they know how to measure whether you're paying attention to content. The idea is to distribute 70% of the $5 subscriptions to individual publishers based on how long each reader spends on the site. The startup distributes the revenue based on the share of time on site and is calculated by a per individual basis. So smaller publications get a fair shake. Every user receives a monthly breakdown of how their subscription dollars were distributed. Users can start an article on a desktop computer and then pick it up where you left off on your phone, and then switch to listening on a commute. So it's got a cross-device capability. The partners that are on average are seeing $46 of revenue per 1,000 page views. The publishers say, or the Scroll executives say that the number will probably fluctuate beyond they've just come out of beta. So those numbers are based on beta, but the number will usually fluctuate and see closer to $25 to $30 as the network matures, but that still beats comparable advertising figures at around $5 to $20 for the same number of page views. So there's right now, you can sign up for a free 30-day trial, which I've got signed up a couple of days ago. I've got that, and people who sign up right away can get $2.49 a month subscription for the first 6 months, after which it's $5. But even at $5, you're getting an ad-free experience where you're getting downloads that are going right away because they're not clogged up with ads, and I've been really enjoying it. There's the Atlantic. There's a bunch of top line publications that I typically read. Vox is among them, that are included in the partners so far, and they will likely expand if this proves a good model for advertisers, for publishers. They're likely going to expand the number of publications that are included in this. So check it out.
That sounds very interesting, but wasn't there something like this before? I'm trying to remember what it was called. There was some all-you-can-read news service that was inexpensive. I think it might have had ads, though. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how publishers are going to feel about not having ads, though.
Well, they're making more from this than they are from the advertising, so that's better. Yeah, what you're talking about is the I can't remember the startup, but Apple bought them. and included them
Okay, yeah, now I
folded the
remember.
technology into their news service. Yeah,
Yeah. So that brings us to bad news, of
it
which
does.
there's a great deal today. Uh, this is about how Facebook stalks you. This is from a Washington Post story by Jeffrey Fowler. This week, Facebook launched an off Facebook activity tool that shows you the ways that it stalks you, even when you turn the app off on your phone. I took the app off my phone altogether quite a long time ago, but on Tuesday, they made the off Facebook activity tracker available to the 2 billion people who are part of Facebook. And it shows Facebook and sister apps, Instagram and Messenger, do not need a microphone to target you with eerily specific posts and ads. They're all up in your business in a whole lot of other ways. The tracker will show you 180 days worth of the data Facebook collects about you from the many organizations and advertisers it's in cahoots with. So it's the page itself, and I'll put a link to go into it directly. It's buried under a bunch of settings menus, but it's the product of a promise that Zuckerberg made during the height of the Cambridge Analytica scandal, and he said he would provide ways that we could clear the history in our accounts. It's not exactly what it does, but it's better than nothing. So basically, Facebook tracks your activity on your phone, even if it's turned off. It doesn't let you reset your entire relationship with Facebook with this app, but along with transparency, it does give you a way to unlink some of its surveillance from your Facebook account. Problem is, you'll have to do it again. But it's hard to avoid Facebook surveillance. You don't have to click like, you don't have to log in using Facebook. You don't have to necessarily be logged into Facebook on the app, the website, or any place. Companies can report other identifying information to Facebook, and they'll marry up that activity to your account after the fact. So Fowler said, you might be shocked or maybe a little embarrassed by what you find in there. He said his colleagues found Facebook knew about a visit to a sperm measurement service, logins to medical insurance, and even websites to register for the Equifax breach settlement. Now, what that has to do with Facebook is beyond me, but even when your phone is entirely off, businesses can upload information about you making a purchase in a store. One of his colleagues found 974 apps and websites that were sharing his activity. The app is not perfect, but we have to think of it as a reminder that we live in a reality TV program where the cameras are always on. And so, then the question is, how does Facebook get all this information? Well, this is the scary part. It provides tracking software that is embedded in apps, websites, loyalty cards, and other systems. And the Electronic Frontier Foundation says Facebook has tracker pixels or cookie sharing code on about 30% of the top 10,000 websites. So there are instructions for using the app in Fowler's article, and you should not be surprised at how many steps it takes and how it isn't permanent, but I guess it's better than nothing. But oh, come on. That's terrible.
Yeah, well, it is. Speaking of surveillance, here's another story along those lines. This is from BuzzFeed's Ryan Mack, Carolyn Haskins, and Logan McDonald, who report on a company called Clearview AI. They're a facial recognition company that has amassed a database of billions of photos, and their selling point to police departments nationwide is that they've cracked a case of alleged terrorism in New York in a New York subway station last August in a matter of seconds, except that they haven't. That is disputed heavily. This is a too long must read kind of article. But what drew me to this and why I wanted to talk about it is the founder. Tom Fatt is the name of the founder, who's erased much of his online persona, but the reporters for BuzzFeed found an old web account and posts that they've uncovered when he was the web developer was interested in far right-wing politics. And that, I mean, okay, so a lot of people are. But in the partial archive of his Twitter account from 2017, for example, he wondered why all big U.S. cities were liberal, retweeted a mix of Breitbart writers, venture capitalists, and right-wing personalities. But then also there was a picture in June of 2017 that Mike Cernovich, who is a pro-Trump personality on Twitter and who propagated the Pizzagate conspiracy, posted a photo of Tom Fat at a meal with a far right-wing provocateur named Chuck Johnson, both of whom are making the OK sign with their hands, which is a white nationalist sign. This kind of thing bothers me because of this kind of surveillance technology in the wrong hands is disturbing. Why I brought it up is it struck to me as I've been thinking about writing a short story that has the premise of basically there's a facial recognition startup founder who's a covert Nazi and positions his company as improving on facial recognition for dark faces to reduce false positives. Of course, we've seen that facial recognition technology often does this. But the premise of this short story is that the real motive was to build a database of non-white people to ensure discrimination. This is a cautionary tale. We need to pay attention to the technology and the people behind the technology because it has so much control over our lives. And so that's why I bring it up, and kind of dark stuff, but this is the bad stuff. So there you go.
I got some bad stuff for you. I'll see your bad stuff.
And raise me?
Well, China is jailing people for their discussion about the coronavirus on social media. So the official news media coverage in China has a lot of footage with stirring music, and it praises the heroism of the sacrifice of the healthcare workers who are marching into the stricken places. But if you're following the crisis through social media, you see something very different. Vitriolic comments and mocking memes about government officials and descriptions of untreated family members and images of hospital corridors overcrowded with patients, some of whom appear to be dead. So, but in order to avoid having their content taken down or themselves be jailed, social media users have gotten to evade censorship by using code words. So, for example, they replaced the name of Xi Jinping with Trump. And they refer to the outbreak as Chernobyl. So the government wants to warn the public against spreading rumors and hoaxes. And so last week they jailed 8 people who they said were doing that, but that hasn't stopped it. And when Hunan's mayor spoke to official media on Monday, one commenter said, "If the virus is fair, please don't spare this useless person." So the condemnations are a rare direct challenge to the Communist Party, and they don't look kindly on dissent. So at a meeting with President Xi and other senior leaders, one of the measures they resolved to take against the virus was to, quote, strengthen the guidance of public opinion. You know, it's happening here. So after Hubei province, which is where Hunan is the capital, the governor, Wang Yaidong, and other officials, they gave a briefing on Sunday, and web users mocked Wang for misstating twice the number of face masks that the province could produce. And then they circulated a photo from the briefing of him and 2 other officials, pointing out that one of them didn't cover his nose with his mask and the other one was wearing it upside down, and Mr. Wang didn't have a mask on at all. So on Monday, social media users were completely unrelenting with Hunan's mayor, Zhu Hui. Don't ask me how to pronounce these names. I can't know. But during an interview that he gave, one of them said, "Stop talking. We just want to know when you'll resign." Just like here at home, you know. It'll soon be.
There you go. I'm done with my bad stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, this is a sad one. Kobe Bryant's death is roiling the Super Bowl ads because planters and others have to pull or edit their ads in the face of Kobe Bryant's death. This is from a Marketing Dive story by Peter Adams. And planters paused their RIP Peanut campaign, and Hard Rock Cafe and Genesis are making last-minute edits to their ads. This has never really happened before a game. Planters decided to pause any paid media behind the RIP Peanut, but they told Ad Age they're going to run their 30-second funeral spot as they planned during the third quarter. But Hyundai's Genesis had a helicopter in their ads, so that's been edited. And the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, Olay, Pop-Tarts, and avocados from Mexico either delayed or stopped the rollout of their campaigns. And the issue here is that nobody ever expected that they would need a contingency plan in the face of a celebrity's death. And marketers, it's a special case, and the ads are $5.6 million per 30-second TV spot, and that all goes into one night, and there's no room for flexibility. So, this is kind of a learning moment for everybody, but I'm not sure what they could learn because you can't predict stuff like this.
So planters paused their RI Peanut campaign, but they're going to run the funeral ad. So they basically went silent on social, but they're going to run the funeral ad. Is that right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
The good, because I think this is hypersensitivity to a tragedy. Like I saw the headline and I thought that Planters was going to pause the ad and not run the ad. I'm like, there is no connection whatsoever to Kobe Bryant, basketball, the death of Kobe Bryant, and peanuts. There's no reason for them not to run.
No. The reason was that Mr. Peanut fell from the sky down into the, the helicopter.
That's stupid.
It's totally stupid. But, at the risk of being vilified, I think that Kobe Bryant is being deified. And I think this is oversensitive.
I totally agree. I don't know what the details of the Hyundai ad are. So,
we won't ever know because we won't see it, but it had a helicopter in it.
So just because it had a helicopter?
Yeah, they took the helicopter out.
It's getting
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just imagine everybody running around like maniacs trying to remake these ads. And, they've planned these months, maybe years in advance. This stuff is not last minute kind of stuff. Yeah. And, for that kind of money and that kind of, the shot you take is, that's a really hard one for everybody involved. Yeah. Crazy, but it's crazy. That's why I have it in worst.
I agree.
Yeah. So shiny new stuff, Dave?
Yeah, what do you got?
Well, last week I talked about the Golden Kitty Awards on Product Hunt, and this week they announced the winners, and it's really the motherlode of cool new apps and programs and tools. They cover everything from social impact to earbuds, and so I have a link to it, and you're definitely going to find stuff you want to try in there.
Oh, good. This is an ebook by the Associated Press. So it's an ebook for best practices on how to develop content for Internet of Things devices. Their AP Insights editor, Jake Kreinberg and Ken Romero, turn to leaders around the Internet of Things ecosystem, including product managers, academics, senior editors in the AP newsroom, to kind of survey what were some of the best practices for content for IoT. They came up with 5 concepts to think about when building your content strategy for IoT, including metadata. So what is the level of accuracy and specificity of your metadata? So the more detailed your metadata is, the more flexibility you'll have in delivering relevant content to your right audience. Personalization. So keeping in mind your target audience and its behavior. Environment, the context in which your audience is in will help you to serve it. Formats, in testing different formats to see which generate the most engagement from your users and engagement itself. So including a variety of perspectives in your content. to go beyond the content itself to maximize the engagement with users. Put a link in the show notes. People can download the ebook, but it's a nice resource for people thinking about IoT devices.
That's very interesting. The end of the world appears to be taking place outside my window, so I apologize for the sirens. Not a damn thing I can do about it.
Well,
but you do have a pro tip, and I will mute myself.
Now, the end of the world usually starts in New York, so I'm a little scared right now. So pro tip, this is from Joe Keeley of Make Use Of, who details how to download Twitter videos to your desktop. So on your desktop, all you do is you copy the direct URL from the tweet that you want to download the video or a GIF, if that's the case. And then you can paste it into a downloader site. So there's a variety of sites that you can use that will actually download the video for you. You take the URL you've copied from the tweet that you want to download the video from and paste it into sites like savetweetvid.com, twittervideodownloader.com. A couple of others, we'll put the links to it in the show notes. Beware the ads on these sites because they kind of are tricky and trying to get you to click on things that you're not supposed to click on. So just follow the instructions carefully and beware of the ads. Choose the quality of the download you want, so like 720p or high definition or lower definition or whatever, and then click download and you can download the ad. There's additional instructions for downloading from Android and iOS mobile devices. We'll put the link in the show notes so you can follow that. And then...
I don't have any others.
All right.
I'm going to mute myself because this is literally right outside my window.
Great. Let's follow it up. Super Bowl is on Sunday, so let's wrap this up with some Super Bowl stats. This is from Google, who reports that search interest in Roman numerals spikes every year at this time. Of course, that's the only time we ever encounter Roman numerals is during the Super Bowl. And Super Bowl LIV, and I don't even know what number that is. It's 50-something.
54.
Thank you. Okay. That's so they've got some graphs that are pretty good, and we'll put these in the show notes as well. The most searched Super Bowl teams, so there's the 49ers and the Chiefs, mapped out across the U.S. So you can see which states are searching more for the 49ers versus which states are searching more for the Kansas City Chiefs. It's interesting because the entire outline of the United States is all San Francisco 49ers. The middle of the United States, the South Dakota, Nebraska, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Missouri, Kansas, Colorado, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Tennessee, all of those are Kansas City Chiefs searches. So it's not really fandom, it's just how many people are searching for those teams. But it's an interesting graph. It kind of makes sense too because Kansas City is right in the middle of America. The other graph they have is Super Bowl 54 foods. So who is searching by state for food related to Super Sunday. And in Minnesota, it is white chicken chili is one of the recipes.
What's that?
It's chili that's made out of chicken. It's white chili made out of chicken. I can't even read this. In New York, it is, I'm sorry. You'll just have to go to the website and figure it out because I can't read this. It's too small on the map.
That's funny.
We will put the links and embed the maps in the show notes, and people can find them on beyondsocialmediashow.com/294.
Okay, well, I've been quietly having an anxiety attack while all those sirens were going on because that was pretty intense, but it seems to have stopped. So that brings us to the end of episode 294 of the Beyond Social Media Show. You find us by searching Beyond Social Media Show and tell your smart speaker to play Beyond Social Media Show. You'll find links to everything we talked about at beyondsocialmediashow.com/294. And I'm here with the ever-charming David Erickson, who is D. Erickson on Twitter, D.E. Erickson on Instagram. He blogs at eStrategyBlog.com, and he's eStrategy on YouTube. I'm BL Ochman. On Twitter, I'm What's Next. I blog at What's Next Blog. I'm What's Next Blog on YouTube. And the show, BeyondSocialMediaShow.com. And on Twitter, we're BS Media Show. So please follow us, and we'll see you next week. We'll be back same time, same station. Thanks for watching.